Alright, One Piece, Gear 5th. I finally caught up. I literally just watched Luffy transform into Gear 5th literally yesterday. And basically the rest of the Wano arc. And I know I'm like 7 months late. Like, this shit came out like last year. Like, I know like the hype and all that and the trendiness has went down a lot. Like, everyone kind of moved on a bit. Kind of not in a way. Honestly, if you talk about Gear 5th, like, it's still probably one of the most talked about, searched like anime moments in the current time, right? But I've been avoiding all those spoilers, all of that. Of course, I've seen the transformation before, like the actual fight scene and the conclusion of the fight against Kaido. I didn't see none of that. I didn't get spoiled on none of that. And maybe because I'm not on Twitter or anything, so maybe that's why. And now since I've seen it, I definitely want to talk about Luffy's Gear 5th and what it means for the story, how he obtained it in the first place. Like, why now, you know? I know it's because his devil fruit powers awakened, but what caused it to awaken now and in this during the fight, or I should say when he was like near death, you know? And of course I knew I heard of the name Joy Boy already. I already heard of all of that stuff, but I didn't truly know what that meant until I actually watched the episodes. So yeah, I'm curious to know a little bit more information about Gear 5th. Maybe I missed some stuff from the episodes. That's why I'm watching a video explaining, you know, everything about Gear 5th. So yeah, let's see what my thoughts are about Gear 5th after this video.
Plus, quite conveniently I'd say, the 5 Elder Stars explain to us in that moment that Luffy's devil fruit is really not the Gomu Gomu no Mi, but it is instead the mythical zone human fruit model Sun God Nika. And so before we get into all the...
Why is it called a human fruit? That's what I'm thinking about as well. What does it mean by human? Because of course I know that he's actually not a rubber man. There's like more to his powers than we originally thought after all these chapters and all these episodes, you know, all these decades. But I'm still curious, like, human, like when you think of like human powers, you're thinking about, I don't know, bringing something to life or maybe shape-shifting, you know? So I'm curious to see like what can Luffy actually do now. Like, it's clear to me based on the Kaido fight that he could reshape reality and kind of bend reality upon will. So I don't know, like, I'm just lost in the fact that they call it human fruit. I don't know why they name it like that. Is there like a reason or a purpose, or like, does it have something to do with the power itself? You let me know what you think if they haven't revealed it yet in the manga. If they have revealed it in the manga, then please don't spoil it. But if they haven't revealed it in the manga, then I don't know. What do you guys think is the reason why they call it human fruit? Because that's been stuck in my head since I watched the episode.
Seemingly turn other people into rubber as well. We do...
What? He could turn other people into... So in that moment when their eyes popped out, it was showcasing Nami and Captain Kidd and Chopper and them. They all were like rubber in that moment. There's no way I could believe that. If that's the case, can he just do that on will, like on command? Because it's not like, oh, he touched them and they're like in rubber effect, you know? Like, how does that work? Like, that's kind of crazy. That's ridiculous, actually. If it's not just the environment, it's also like living people.
You see this later when he blows up Kaido like a balloon, stretches through Kaido's eyeballs and body, plus even more stuff. And so his awakening clearly allows him to turn both the environment but also other living people and beings into rubber, at least when he's touching them. But perhaps the most...
He said at least when he's touching them. He did not touch Nami or Kid or Chopper. But he's saying that they like were turned into rubber for a second. I understand if he was like touching them, but obviously that wasn't the case. So he turned Kaido into rubber. So that's why he was able to like stretch his hands through Kaido's eyes to like get himself out of his body. I don't know what to think about this, especially when it comes to future battles that Luffy is gonna have. We'll see. I don't know.
And we will even see later on that he can apparently create things out of thin air like God.
What? Okay, that gotta be a spoiler. That did not happen during the Wano arc. He could create things like goggles out of thin air? There's no way. So he could create things out of anything, out of his imagination. Is that why it's called the human fruit? Because like humans tend to, like, the way we advance in society, the way we evolve is to like bring in our imaginations into reality. All the inventions that have been created throughout history, all the advancements, all the science, from farmland to industrial living, like from us building a spaceship and going to the moon and beyond. Is that why it's called a human fruit? Because of humans' ability to bring their imaginations, bring their dreams into reality, like have that type of subconscious thinking or conscious thinking, I should say, as well. Basically what separates us from animals, you know, is that's why it's called the human fruit. Is that, if that's the case, then that's a creative way to create a devil fruit, honestly. Like, to call it the human fruit because of human imagination is like kind of, it's almost limitless, honestly. It's insane the way we could bring our imaginations into reality. Like think about the amount of inventions in your room, like alone. Just look around in your room and think about all the possessions you have that like your caveman ancestors thought were like impossible, like couldn't even imagine in their wildest dreams, but you find it as nothing. It's just normal living to us, you know. I'm assuming that's the inspiration of why they call it the human fruit. Yeah, but I hope there is some type of limit to his powers and his imaginations, but we'll see. Let's see what Oda be cooking up. There's no way Luffy's gonna become like a One Punch Man guy character, right? Like Gear 5th just automatically wins on everything, right?
That's because back in Fishman Island, Luffy first revealed that he somehow had fire powers when he defeated this fishman here with his Red Hawk attack. And then, as you'll remember, just a while ago against Kaido, he used an even bigger red rock fire attack, which just completely blew my mind in the anime, by the way. And for years,
you know what's crazy? He's right. Like, I just never even debated or questioned the fact that Luffy's able to create fire in his hands with his attacks suddenly, you know, like his gum Red Hawk and all that. Like, it's, I don't know why. Maybe I was just assuming that his arm is like moving so fast that it's like bursts into flames. Like, I guess I was using the same type of logic as Sanji, I'm assuming. Like, I think so. I think I was using like similar logic to how Sanji is able to have his like legs burst into flames, you know. So that was hinting his imagination devil fruit this whole time, or at least showing a glimpse of it.
Now we finally know for sure that his fire abilities most likely have just been an early example of Luffy's extraordinary devil fruit awakening and basically him imagining his brother's powers. And honestly,
damn, so just from imagining his own brother's powers, just wanted to be like your brother a little bit, you know, just crazy. And that just flew all of our heads for the most part. But oh my god, now I'm thinking about it, it's like the fact that I just like in my head I'm wondering how much does Oda like be planning out events and plot lines in advance? Because like there's no way, I don't know, like it's hard for me to believe that he was thinking about Gear 5th all the way back in like Fishman Island. Like you know how much chapters, like that's so long ago. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way Oda be having plot lines like decades in advance, you know. Because if he does, then he's like the greatest. Like I already knew he's like an all-time storyteller, but to have events that are well written and connected decades in advance, there's no way. There's no way. I don't believe it.
And so in the future, he might even be able to manipulate other elements or even devil fruit.
Oh yeah, he was able to grab lightning in the show. And for some reason, I never questioned that either. It's like, why I just assumed he could just do that, just randomly. But I wonder why, now I think about it, I wonder why Nico is called the sun god. Like, why the sun? Why not the moon god? Right? Wait, did I say Nico or Nika? It's Nika, right? Hopefully I've been seeing Nika this whole time.
Actually brings us to the very crucial fact that much like Luffy's earlier gear transformations, gear 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, when Luffy uses his awakened powers, it does seem to dramatically drain his stamina and possibly even his lifespan. In fact, we even see him comment that he only has a few minutes to use this power and also witness a terrifying transformation into an old man during a break in the fighting. But all
yeah, I remember in Gear 2nd when he first used it that he stated that he has to like sacrifice a bit of his lifespan to use Gear 2nd, and I thought that was gonna be like a forgotten concept, or since he's been using it for so long he got so much stronger over time that it doesn't really affect him anymore. But maybe it's the case where it just got passed down to his later gears since he got stronger. Honestly, I have a feeling that after Luffy becomes Pirate King, I feel like he's gonna end up like Goldie Roger and not have much time to live, just like him. I feel like he's gonna gonna use up his lifespan so much during all these battles, all these arcs, that he's gonna come to find out that he probably only has like maybe a year left afterwards or something like that, you know? Oh, that's my theory. You let me know what you think about that.
Well, one theory about Luffy's awakening is that he actually did die, and then the spirit of his devil fruit somehow took over Luffy's body. And there's
What? Hold on, you said there's evidence?
While this hasn't been clearly explained even in the manga at this point, it is possible that by dying, Luffy somehow allowed the spirit of Joy Boy to literally enter his body, and
there's no way that he's gonna have to die every single time to activate these powers. There's no way. So him literally dying activated his devil fruit, like awakened it. Because I remember I was watching the episodes and Kaido was like, oh yeah, when your mind and body are aligned in a way, that's when your devil fruit powers awaken. But I don't know, like, how does your mind and body just become one when you're dead? Like, I guess like your mind and body is just at that moment is focusing on staying alive for one more moment, one more second, like it's aligned in that way. I don't know, but yeah, I just hope he doesn't have to be near death every single time. Like, but the thing is, when he got tired, right, and we all thought he was like out of energy, he turned into like an old looking man. Suddenly, I guess through his will or through the prayers of everyone, I guess, or like, you know, he was able to return back into his Gear 5th transformation. In a sense, it feels like a spirit bomb. Honestly, it feels like a spirit bomb where like the people who are thinking about him, who are rooting for him, is kind of like giving him their energy, and is all of that is stored up in him to obtain this form. It feels like that's the case, especially, yeah, like just like I was saying, when he lost the form, it's like once you start thinking about all the people who are relying on him, and in that moment too, like there was so many people like thinking about Luffy, cheering him on and all that. It gotta be some similar concept to Spirit Bomb. It has to be, right? I think that's gonna be the case. I feel like I'm onto something. Maybe not. You let me know.
The government must also be worried about some secret abilities that we still don't know about. And honestly,
true. I wonder what's gonna be happening. What does Oda got cooking up? Like, what he got in his brain for Luffy in his Gear 5th form? Possibilities are endless. That's why he has his imagination fruit.
It could very well be related to the One Piece itself. We'll discuss more about that in a moment, but the government were so scared.
Okay, speaking of the One Piece, what is the One Piece, man? At first, originally when he mentioned Joy Boy, especially when he had the throwback episodes of Odin and Rogers and Whitebeard, and Rogers and Odin arrived to Laugh Tale, I thought the One Piece was literally the prophecy of Joy Boy, but it looks like I'm wrong. And that's not the One Piece at all. Maybe the One Piece is Laugh Tale itself. It's the final destination. That is the One Piece. It seems like that's the case, because if Luffy is the reincarnation of Joy Boy, like, then and obviously he's Joy Boy is not like the One Piece itself. And of course, Shanks declared that it's time for him to acquire the One Piece. So I'm assuming it's Laugh Tale itself. And I wonder what Laugh Tale revealed, because it gotta be more than just some treasure, you know? And why is it not in Odin's journal of what is the One Piece exact? Why does Odin not have it in his journal at all? Like, all he mentioned was Joy Boy, and he needs to open the borders for when the legendary hero Joy Boy returns. So that's what had me thinking that Joy Boy is the One Piece, like the prophecy itself. That's what the One Piece is, but I don't know at this point. I don't know.
While admittedly it isn't the most clearly foreshadowed twist in One Piece, there are absolutely scenes throughout the story that we can point to that might have very well hinted at these legendary powers. And of course, it all begins with the very first image that we have of the newly awakened Joy Boy. And if you're thinking that this image looks familiar, well, that would be because we've seen a very similar pose multiple times in the story. For example, it shows up twice in both of the bonfire scenes on Skypiea. So clearly, this pose was already established way back in the story, and this is
there's no way Oda thought of Gear 5th all the way back then. I just don't believe it. I can't believe it. That's decades. Like, that's at least a decade worth of advanced storytelling, of like planning and plotting. Like, there's no way. Like he must have the human fruit. Like Oda actually got it in real life. Like he really be putting his imaginations into reality. There's no way like he could think of something like this so many years in advance. Of like I don't know, he's built different. He is truly no joke.
The former Pirate King even states that he wished he could have lived in the time of Joy Boy, and he also knew that the One Piece treasure somehow couldn't be used until 20 years into the future. But
yeah, oh man. That's what I was thinking, that Joy Boy was the One Piece. But what's so special about 20 years? What was so special about it? I still don't understand about the whole 20 years in the future. Like why? Why was that so important? Why is that so noteworthy? Man, so many thoughts, so many theories, man. I don't know how Oda does it, man. He just knows how to cook up. I don't know. I just hope it doesn't take another decade to finally discover the One Piece. Hopefully.
if you want to know which fruits are even more powerful than this one, you can watch that video right here. Shanks.
There's no way he just claimed there's devil fruit powers more powerful than literally imagination. This man Luffy is about to imagine those powers being weaker and then they just only get weaker. Like, come on now. Nah. Okay, so oh man, so many thoughts that went through my head from that one video. It's crazy. It's actually ridiculous now that I think about it, the way Oda wrote One Piece. Honestly, I came in to watch this video for Gear 5th, but coming out of this video, I'm thinking way more about the brain of Oda and his storytelling and his techniques and how he's able to foreshadow things decades in advance and have the world make sense, like the plot makes sense in a way for so long. Like I don't know, like this video was mainly supposed to be about Gear 5th, but this is really understanding Oda as a storyteller for real. Like that's really what Gear 5th is all about, is like Oda unleashing his abilities as a storyteller and bending what I believe was possible in terms of writing a series, bending reality in his will, I guess. But I don't know, it's a lot of thoughts. I said a lot in the video already. I don't really want to repeat myself any more than I already have. So yeah, you let me know your thoughts about Gear 5th, your thoughts about Oda's ability to storytell and all that. Like, do you actually believe that he foreshadowed Gear 5th all the way back, like pre-time skip Luffy, like before even the 2-year time skip? Because I can't fathom that in my brain. Like, there's no way. So yeah, what's your thoughts on Gear 5th as a whole? What's your thoughts on One Piece so far? What is your predictions of when One Piece is actually gonna end? Is it gonna be like another decade? Is it gonna be like, or in the final few years? I know that we're entering the final arc, or at least the manga is entering like the final arc. That's what I'm hearing at least, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's have a discussion down below in the comments. You know, like and subscribe, all the good stuff. This video's been long enough, but yeah, thanks for sticking around, and yeah, thanks for watching. Yo, real quick, I've just been reading the comments a little bit from the video, and I just see this comment right here. This is crazy. There's like, oh my god, and people are confirming that this is true too in the replies. Hold on, bro. I hope it's not true, and this guy right here is not just being a hater, and he's actually like, because if this comment up here is true, then like, yo, like Oda really is like some all-knowing being. So I hope this guy is spitting some facts, because like, what? Read what this say. Like, people laughing basically cause more oxygen to be pumped into a person's heart, like about 20%, right? And laughing is medicine for the heart, basically. And since Luffy is made out of rubber, the oxygen intake stretches the blood in his body to activate Gear 5th. It's like Gear 2, but starting in the heart. And that's why like the first thing that reacted when he was transforming was his heart. Like the beat of his heart was changing, and that was the first thing that was being stated when he was transforming into Gear 5th. I hope this is not true actually, because yeah, I already like said enough good things about Oda. Like there's no way.